This IROC was left for dead in the middle of a barn in Central Texas. I rescued it for $1,000. Now it's in high-build primer. Let's see how we got here.
Hey guys, Dan here. It has been way too long since I gave you any sort of update on the Camaro. Well, today we're changing that. We're taking this from a barnyard find to a full restoration. I'll give you some updates on the Camaro and why it's taking me so damn long. Let's get into it.
So I had the Camaro on jack stands, but I needed to get it mobile so I could move it around. And I had to give up my shop because I was diagnosed with a seizure condition, so I can actually no longer drive, which makes this whole Camaro project pointless, but also it's a dream of mine to have rebuilt a car, and I already have it, so I might keep going. Maybe one day they'll find a cure. But I needed to build a frame to put the car on so I can move it around, and I had 4x4s and 2x6s laying around, so I just made a frame out of those and then ended up getting some bolts and bolting it from the actual car frame and into the 4x4s and 2x6s, and then put it on the trailer to get it back home. Not pretty, but it worked. Did a little exercise break, made room in the garage for the Camaro, and I started breaking it down. I already had the body all apart, but now you gotta get the doors taken apart, get the glass out, and get everything sanded down, because at this point I am sanding and tearing apart everything to get every little piece of rust cleaned up and get this thing ready for primer, bodywork, metalwork, and paint. I know those were out of order, but so I just went through with a grinder and flap wheels and just cleaned up, got rid of all the paint on the doors, on every panel. I had to replace the fenders because the ones that I had were just too far gone. The boys helped a bit here, cleaning up everything. Also, because of the condition, it's taken me a while to actually start working on the car and actually want to do this again. So the filming, I didn't film everything, but here working on the door, it's got a giant dent in it and multiple dents. So I'm gonna end up using a shrink disc across that big dent to help raise it up, and it did a pretty good job. I didn't want to obviously fill that with as little filler as possible. So here I'm checking it with a straight edge, showing like, yeah, there's more than an eighth of an inch to a quarter-inch gap in some of these areas. So here we're going to use the shrink disc. It's just a flat piece of metal that spins fast and heats up the panel. So your goal here is to heat up the panel, which heat expands metal, but then you quickly cool it down to get that metal to pop back into place, to shrink back up and shrink into place. And it does a fairly good job at this, even on some of the smaller dents. But I would just go along, the inside and then the outside and cool it off as I went. Now these shrink discs get super hot, so make sure you're wearing gloves or not touching the panel, because that panel gets super hot. And here's where you put the cool water on it to cool it off. If you get it hot enough, you'll hear it. It does a good job. It pops it out just like on a plastic bumper when you heat it up and you're able to push it out. It's kind of like that. But here I'm using the ink makers or tool makers ink to help find all the low spots. So just cover the panel in that and then lightly grind or sand, and you'll see the low spots in the metal, which helps with your metal work. yeah, here I'm just hammer and dollying, trying to get these spots up and, you know, make this door as best I can for, you know, first time doing any of this.
Well, this one's about as good as I can get it. Gotta get these 5 or whatever fixed up. The majority of these aren't really anything. Quick pass with the shrink disc should take care of like that one and that one and that one. And if I can straighten it out just a bit better, save on filler and all that, then that's a win. Trying to keep as little filler as possible on here.
Here we're just getting the bumper ready for some paint stripper, getting it cleaned off to get all the dirt and grime off of it, and then we're going to use the aircraft stripper to pull off all this and get it down to bare plastic. It looks like this car has been repainted.
What are you doing? Spray the window. Alright. Did we get all the tint off? I think so. It looks all clean. Now we just gotta make sure all the soap's off.
Now that the glass is cleaned up, gotta blow it all out, dry it off, because we're gonna be sanding it down, getting it ready for primer. Yeah, I'm just sanding it down, and then I would put a just a spray paint on top, like a rust reformer if there was any rusty spots. But this way also, it never was in bare metal for too long. I wanted it protected. So just covered the glass, and then I went through with rust remover, or not remover, Rust-Oleum rust reformer, and just sprayed down everything.
Been a long road, but we are getting ready to put this 87 IROC into epoxy primer. So let's get going.
Alright, so for this, you gotta use a 2-to-1 mix ratio. It'll tell you in your technical data sheet, your TDS, what to use. For this, I'm using Omni's MP170, I think it is. The number's covered up on the can because when I went to pour it, it spilled all over the front, as you'll see here in a second. But you've got your, essentially your base and hardener here that you'll mix up, and then for this you've got to let it cure for 15 minutes before you can spray it. So you want to mix up enough to do the whole car for your first coat, because if you have to go back and mix up more, it's going to be another 15 minutes for it to set up and be ready to spray.
Got some Durgold tack rags. You want to open it up. Essentially use one side per panel.
And now you're just going to go through, and as the epoxy is curing, you're going to go and wipe down all the surfaces, one side of the tack rag per panel. And now I'm going through and spraying that first coat. It laid down really smooth, was really easy to put down. For the first time ever spraying a full car like this, I think I only had one run in the door, and I wasn't too worried because I was going to sand it out. Now I'm just blowing it off and wiping it down to get ready to start filler work. I did Evercoat Edge Ultra as the filler. Really easy to work with. I just didn't take any video of it, so unfortunately some days after the diagnosis and stuff, I just didn't feel like videoing anything. I didn't know if I was going to keep doing this, so I apologize for some missing footage, but it is what it is. So now I'm just going through and sanding the surface. I think I'm in 80 grit right now. Danny wanted to see what I was up to and hang out for a few minutes, so I showed him, and he had a few questions and wanted to try it out, and pretty much ran away right away, just because he didn't want to be putting in the elbow grease to sand.
Like and subscribe. Dad,
What?
you're right here. Is that one?
Could be.
What's the...
Circle it, and then
No, what's the... No, I'm gonna circle. Whoa. Dad, where? Look.
What? Oh, yep. I've got to clean that up.
Dad, I've never ever in my life driven on a car. Yeah, I feel this just feels wrong. Yeah.
Drawing on a car.
That's what we're supposed to do. Because Dad said we can do it.
Yep.
Because it's his Camaro. Yeah, because it's his Camaro.
Yeah, and we're looking for all the defects, right?
I'm not the biggest one. The car is.
Sure.
What?
Sure. So you don't feel any like where it goes in or too high or too low. Yeah.
Now that the kids helped me find all the defects, I went through and filled some of the smaller holes with glazing putty, and then any like big area I did put filler, but the glazing, it was all like mostly little pinholes, nothing too big, so the glazing putty did just fine. After all those were sanded, I think I went through with 120 one more time before getting to the high build primer. So this is me mixing up the second coat of the epoxy, but I use that to cover some of the bare metal, and then I went and put the entire car in to high build primer from Evercoat Slick Sand. That stuff you have to move quick with if it is hot. But here's the next, I believe this is the second coat of Slick Sand going on. And this is where we are right now. I put this into primer over a year ago, and I'm getting back into it. And we're going to get this thing sanded and ready for paint. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.